Hello friends, today we will discuss one numerical question on non-integrated accounting system. In this lecture, we will see how to pass journal entries under non-integrated accounting system, and I will show you one Google Excel sheet in which I have already prepared ledgers pertaining to these journal entries. So let's start. This question I have already shared with you on your WhatsApp group, and it is also available on our Google Classroom. This question is from Surinder Singh book. Journalize the following transaction in the cost journal, assuming that separate cost records are maintained. So separate costs are maintained mean to say non-integrated accounting system are being followed. So credit purchases for special job. Number two is cash purchases. Number four is return to suppliers on credit basis. Issue of direct material to production. Number five, number six, issue of indirect material to production. Number seven, direct material returned from production to store. Indirect material returned from production to store. So this question is like this way. Whenever you will watch this video, please have the soft copy of this question with you. Then we will pass journal entry one by one so that we can analyze the transaction how these are recorded. So first transaction was that credit purchases of rupees 50,000. So in this case, we will pass journal entry store ledger control account debit to cost ledger control account. So cost ledger, or you can say journal adjustment ledger, both are same synonym. So whether you can either you can write cost ledger control account or you can write journal ledger adjustment account. So here I have taken the name cost ledger control account. So you can see the first entry, it is not the purchase account debit to creditors, rather we have passed the journal entry store ledger, because in cost accounting we uh, assume that all these stocks will be shifted to store first of all, then from store it will be transferred to respective production department or work in progress. So first entry it is on credit purchases, second entry it is cash purchases of rupees 50,000, and there is no difference in the case of non-integrated cost accounting system of credit purchases and cash purchases. Both are same because we do not maintain any kind of account of personal account nature as well as the cash account. So entry store ledger control account debit to cost ledger control account. The third entry is credit purchases for special job. You see, the material is purchased on credit basis, but it is not transferred to store department first, rather it is directly shifted to factory, or you can say workshop, where goods are being produced. So in this case, entry will not be store ledger control account, rather entry will be work in progress control account. So because there is no uh, material is not shifted to store, that's why work in progress control account debit to cost ledger control account. So amount of rupees 10,000. Fourth is return to suppliers credit purchases. So these are the purchases return. So in this case we will reverse the entry like we have passed under entry number one. So it will be store ledger control account debit to store sorry, cost ledger control account debit to store ledger control account. Amount is 5,000. Then fifth is issue of direct material to production. Now this is issue, not the purchase. So it means to say material is issued from the stores. So that's why entry will be work in progress ledger control account debit to store ledger control account. Though the question is mentioning that the material is direct one, that's why it will be debited to work in progress. If the material would have been indirect, then entry would have been factory overhead ledger control account rather than work in progress. So all indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses will be charged to respective overhead account, or factory overhead, or you can say administrative overhead, or sales or distribution overheads, as the case may be. So entry number 5, that is issue of direct material, it is work in progress ledger control account debit to store ledger control account. Then sixth is your issue of indirect material to production. So this is the same entry that we have done right now. So this is factory overhead ledger control account debit to store ledger control account. So in this case work in progress ledger will not be charged, because material is indirect, that's why it will be charged to factory overheads. Entry number 7, direct material returned from production to store. So your production department has returned some material to stores department. So entry will be again store ledger control account debit to work in progress ledger control account. So this is the reverse entry of, you can see entry number 5, amount is rupees 5000. Entry number 8, indirect material returned from production to store. So it's a, you can say the reverse entry of entry number 6, store ledger control account debit to factory overhead control account, amount is rupees 2000. Then entry number 9, normal wastage of material 1000. You see normal wastage, and we already discussed number of time that all normal losses, normal wastage, it is charged to our total cost. So how it will be charged? It will be charged, charge will be made through routed through factory overhead control account. So we are assuming these are the overheads. So that's why factory overheads control account debit to store ledger control account, since the loss is of material, and that's why it is factory overhead control account debit. Then next number entry is material destroyed by fire. So destroyed by fire, it is not normal one. This is abnormal circumstances. That's why factory overhead will not be charged. Mean to say the cost of this abnormal loss will not be charged to the our normal production cost. Rather, it will be shifted to costing P&L account. So that's why the entry is costing P&L account debit to store ledger control account. Amount is 5000. Entry number 5 is wages paid. So wages, for wages purposes, we know that we prepare wages control account. So in this case, it will be wages control account debit to cost ledger control, because there is no personal account, so no credit of bank, no, you can say cash account is prepared. That's why no cash account is credited. So that's why we have prepared cost ledger control account in this case, and similarly it is credited in this case. So wages control account debit for 45,000. This is 45,000, and then cost ledger control account is 45,000. Entry number 12 is direct wages allocated. You see, this is the allocation of direct wages to the production. So in this case, you can see the whatever the wages paid, obviously it may have different component, like one class of wages are paid to production assembly number 1, second is to the assembly number B or C, like this way. So how much wages has been paid to for our one particular purpose, that is for the production purpose, this is amount of rupees 30,000. So that's why work in progress ledger control account debit to wages control account 30,000. So we will see further how much of other wages are allocated to some other for other purposes. So direct wages, out of 45,000, direct wages are 30,000. Entry number 13, you can see indirect wages allocated. So out of 45,000, 10,000 is allocated for indirect wages. So in this case, factory overhead control account debit to wages control account. This is indirect wages, 10,000. Then is normal idle time of labor. So again, it's a normal loss that factory, you can say the production suspend for some time due to the normal reason, like we have seen in our mm, one chapter, that is of machine hour rate chapter, where we have seen that some circumstances where machine is running but production it is not going on, or in some cases there are some setting up time where we require to stop our machine and there is no production. So such kind of, you can say, normal idle time or loss of wages, it is charged to the indirect labor. So entry will be factory overhead control account debit to wages control account, amount is 2000. Then is abnormal idle time. Abnormal idle time, you say we will not charge, we will not increase our uh, total cost of production due to any changes or any loss of abnormal reason. So this, that's why it will be directly charged to costing P&L account. So that's why costing P&L account debit is to wages control account. Now you can see, you can make the total of all these four entries, entry number 12, 13, 14 and 15. So it comes to 45,000, and already we have seen the wages control account is debited by 45,000. So in this case, your wages control account will be matched. So on the uh, debit side it will be 45,000, and on the credit side we are having different allocation 30, 10, 2 and 3000 respectively, that we have done under entry starting from 12 to 15. Then entry number 16. 16 is direct expenses. So direct expenses, for what purposes? The direct expenses are charged to production because of it's a part of prime cost. So work in progress control account debit to 10,000, then to cost ledger control account 10,000. Then 17, entry number 17, factory overhead incurred in cash. So factory overhead means indirect. So again these are the expenses. We are not going to pass any entry with the cash. So that's why factory overhead control account debit to cost ledger control account. So these are the indirect expenses. So we have seen in this question indirect material, indirect labor as well as indirect expenses of the factory production, or you can say factory overheads, or you can say uh, work overheads. So then next entry is of this 17B. How we will charge this one? Work in progress control. This is of your, you see, absorption. So total absorption of factory overheads are 28,500, and actually we have incurred only 8,000. Now we have to see that what is actually incurred and how much we have absorbed in order to calculate under absorption or over absorption. So in this case you see how we will pass this entry first of all of the production overhead absorbed, that is work in progress control, because ultimately all these factory overheads are to be charged to the production. So that's why work in progress control account debit to factory overheads control account. This amount, absorption amount, is given to us 28,500. Now we have to see what is the actual expenditure. So in the previous entry you have seen, we have seen the factory overhead debited with the different amounts. So we can see one by one. First one was issue of indirect material to production. Then it was normal wastage of material. Then it was indirect wages allocated. Then normal ideal time, and then factory overhead actually expenses incurred. The sum of all these expenses, that is the debit side of factory overhead, that is 31,000, and less factory overhead credited amount, that is the return, material return. So material return to the store, minus after deducting that we are having 29,000. So actual factory overhead incurred is 29,000, but we have absorbed only 28,500. It means to say over absorption, there is over absorption of 500. So how we will pass this journal entry of our absorption of 500 in this case? So the third entry of this one will be overhead suspense account debit to factory overhead control account to make the balance of our factory overhead control account ledger. So 500 and 500. So this is production overhead under absorption. Now 18 and number 18 entry, administrative overhead incurred in cash, and absorption amount is given in, that is 7,100. So how much we have incurred in cash, that is 7,000. That's why we will pass the entry. So this is relating with the administrative overheads. That's why administrative overhead control account debit 7,000 to cost ledger control account. Since there is no cash book is maintained, no cash account is maintained, that's why cost ledger control account will be credited. Then finished goods ledger control. Now we have to see that 71 has been absorbed. So in this case actual expenses is given, as well as the finished goods ledger control, it is also given to us, that is 7,100. So to finished goods ledger control account debit 7,100, to administration overhead control account 7,100. Before to entry number 18 we have not seen any entry that is passed on account of administrative overhead. But however, when we were discussing that entry number 17 for factory overhead control account, in this case we have seen there were some entries previous to point number entry number 17, that was on factory overhead. So there is, since there is no, and that's why we have made this adjustment as a working note here. So but there is no entry on administrative overhead. That's why you can see the difference between these two entry. Only the cash expenses, indirect expenses has been incurred on administration for administrative purposes. So that's why administrative overhead control account debit 7,000 to the cost ledger control account 7,000, and this amount will be transferred to finished goods ledger control account, because after that adding the administrative cost, we are having cost of goods sold or finished goods. So finished goods ledger control account debit 70,100 to administrative overhead control account 100. So in this case, in the administrative overhead control account, you will see a difference of 100 here. So what is the difference here? You will see this difference on debit side, and that's why uh, the difference is of our absorption. So whether we have to see it is a over absorption or under absorption. So actually we have incurred 7,000, but it was estimated 7,100. So that's why we have over absorbed. So in this case, for over absorption, we will pass administration overhead control account debit to overhead suspense account. So you can see this is the entry, just opposite entry of entry number 17, where it was under absorption, and it is here the case of over absorption. So uh, administrative overhead control account debit to overhead suspense account by rupees 100. Then is entry number 19, that is selling and distribution overhead incurred in cash. So similarly, same entry will be passed for selling and distribution overhead, that is selling and distribution overhead control account debit to cost ledger control 6,000. Then also the absorbed amount is given, that is 6,000. So here you can see there is no question of under absorption or over absorption. So whatever we have estimated, actual expenditure are incurred to the same tune. So cost of sales control account debit to selling and distribution control account. So after that uh, we will pass entry number 20, finished goods produced. So for how much we have produced finished goods, so it is of rupees 90,000. So finished stock ledger control account debit to work in progress ledger control account 90,000. Then entry number 21, cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold is charged to our cost of sales account, because whatever the finished goods have been prepared and it is transferred from work in progress, where raw material has been converted to finished stock after putting labor or direct expenses, all these will be shifted to the cost of sales. The cost of sales account debit to finished goods ledger control account 85,000. Then we have sold these goods, so that's why cost of ledger control, because we are not going to charge it bank account debit or cash account debit, because no such account is prepared under non-integrated accounting system. That's why cost of ledger control account debit to cost of sales 1,20,000. And now we have to see the difference, though in this question difference is already given, I mean the difference of either profit or loss of 20,600. So no need to calculate it separately. Otherwise, if it is not given, then we have to calculate that we have to make a total of sales, and we have to deduct all expenses out of that, so that we can calculate either profit or loss. So in this case, costing profit and loss account debit to cost ledger control account. This is profit on sale. So how this is the way that we have passed all journal entries of non-integrated accounting system of this question. Now we will see the ledger, how we will prepare that ledger. You know that how the ledgers are prepared, but I will show you the snapshot of entries. You can see. So first of all, I have prepared cost ledger control account. So let's see first of all store ledger, because we have started our discussion with the store ledger. So you see the store ledger control account. On the debit side, we have seen whatever the purchases we have made either on credit or on either on credit or cash basis, and on the plus the material returned from factory overhead, or from the work in progress, that is from the production department. So on the credit side, we have written all the transfers, like you can see on the debit side. First of all, cost ledger control account, this was our credit purchases 50,000. Cost ledger control account, it was I guess cash purchases. Work in control account, that was our material returned from production. Factory overhead control, it was indirect material returned from factory overheads. Then on the credit side, the first one is cost ledger control account. Oh, this is the entry of our material return that we have returned to supplier. Then this is the entry that we have issued material to factory. Then this is indirect material, again indirect material of 1000. Then this is of normal loss, sorry, of normal loss costing P&L account 5000. And this is the balance that we have, still we have 16,000 balance carried down of store in our store, still we are having 16,000 balance. Then we made discussion on wages control. So wages control, first of all, the total wages were 45,000, and then allocation is made on factory, then factory overhead, then normal loss and abnormal loss. So these discussion we have done, and this account is balanced. Then after that we made discussion on, after wages control account, we made discussion on the factory overhead control account, where we have done our under absorption as well as over absorption. So you can see where from what are the different charges that we have debited in our factory overhead control account. You can see, first of all, the material store ledger 10,000. Then our, I guess this is our normal loss of the material store ledger, that's why it is credited here. Then two wages control, this is the direct wages. Then these are the normal loss of wages. Then the cost ledger control account of rupees 8,000. Then on the other side, credit side, by store ledger control account, that is the material return. Work in progress control account 28,500. This is the that is what we have absorbed, and this is the difference of rupees 500. Now you see this cost ledger control account, that is factory overhead account, debit to cost ledger. These are the direct expenses. This entry of rupees 8,000, this is the direct expenses. So direct material, sorry, indirect expenses, indirect expense material, indirect material, indirect indirect wages, though it is normal loss. Then indirect expenses and allocation, we have done accordingly, that absorption is 28,500, and there is a difference of rupees 500, which is suspense account, that we will prepare separately. One account, that is suspend overhead suspense account, where we will be charging all these overhead under absorption and over absorption of accounts. Then in work in progress control, this account is prepared for the purpose where the factory where actual production is taking place. So in this case, you can see we require material, we require labor, all these things. So similarly, you can see this is the first of all cost ledger control account. This is the direct expenses, store ledger control, direct material, wages control. This is our direct wages allocation, and factory overhead control. This is our, because whatever the um amount of factory overheads, otherwise you see, whatever the amount of factory overheads, it will be again charged to the work in progress, because we have prepared separate account for the indirect expenses, but all these expenses are incurred for the production purposes. So we will transfer these expenses to work in progress control account after making the allocation and separation of these expenses to the factory overhead control account. Then this is 5,000 is material return, and you can see the total of this debit side is 1,08,500, and after deducting this 5,000, we, the finished goods control account, that is given to us, that 90,000 of goods are shifted to the finished goods, and still we are having work in progress of 13,500. Then after work in progress, you can see we have seen the entries on administrative overhead control account. So where we have seen only two entry, one is that is actual overhead, and second is that is absorption. So what is the actual overhead? Our actual overhead was 7,000 and absorption was of 7,100. So in this case, there were, actual was 7,000 and estimated was 7,100. So there was overhead over absorption of overheads. So in this case, so entry will be overheads to overhead suspense account with rupees 100. So some more ledger I have prepared here for all. You see finished goods control account, so 90,000 from the administrative, then we put more expenses administrative and become cost of sales. And we have just here given the question that it is amount is 85,000. it means still we are having some goods which is in pipeline of rupees 12,100. And selling and distribution, so selling and distribution, there was no difference on actual and estimated or absorbed overheads, that's why this account is balanced. Then coming to overhead suspense account, so overhead suspense account, we have seen in one case it is under absorbed, in another case it is over absorbed. So in the case of factory overheads, it was 500, by 500 it was over absorbed, and in the case of administrative overhead it was under absorbed, and differences of will be transferred to costing P&L account of rupees 400. That we have to, this is the new discussion, that any difference of overhead suspense account is transferred to costing P&L account, that you have to remember. Then cost of sales, the cost of sales finished goods are of 85,000. Selling and distribution, we have made expenses and we will add it up to that, and the total cost of sales, that is 91,000. Now we will shift to the costing P&L account. In the costing P&L account, it is here, costing P&L account, you can see the total sales we made 1,20,000. Then store ledger control, this is the abnormal loss 5,000. Wages control, abnormal wages 3,000. Cost of sales that we have carried from the cost of sales account 91,000. Overhead suspense account, that is the difference of overhead account. Then cost ledger control account. Now let's see what where is cost ledger control account, though I have prepared it. This is the net profit 20,600. Now coming to the cost ledger control account, so you see this is the cost ledger control account, so which accounts for all our personal as well as cash account transactions. So number one, you can see, first of all we have purchased material on credit and cash basis, entries recorded here. Then we paid wages on in the cash, then again 10,000. So sorry, this is the work in progress ledger control, that is your of rupees 10,000. Yes, this 10,000 is, that is material purchased for special job. Then 45,000 wages we have paid, again cash entry recorded here. Factory overhead, then control account 8,000, that is your factory overheads paid. Administrative overhead paid, selling and distribution overheads paid. Then coming to the debit side, this is the material return 5,000, and after that the costing P&L account sales is 1,20,000. So this you can see here, one is that is costing P&L account 20,600, and on the another side we are having costing P&L account of rupees 1,20,000. So this is by, now you see on the debit side, first of all we have recorded store ledger control account. That store ledger control account, that was our of return of material we purchased and we returned to the supplier. And this 1,20,000, because we are not preparing cash account, the entry of sale was cash account debit to sales account in normal circumstances financial accounting. So here what will be the entry would have been, that is our cost ledger control account debit to sales. So that's why this entry is recorded here to costing P&L account, that is sales 1,20,000, and this is the balance, that is of 20,600. This is the profit that is given to us in the question, out of this the total transaction. So the profit is transferred to cost ledger control account. After that we are having balance of 41,600. So how we have passed this entry of the profit? Entry was costing P&L account debit to cost ledger control account 20,600. So this entry again you have to remember it, what is the procedure of transferring profit to cost ledger control account. Now we have seen few balances we are having here. One is the balance of cost ledger control account, then there is a balance of store ledger control account, there is a balance of work in progress control account. Now accordingly we can prepare our trial balance, and you can see in store still we are having 16,000 of material. In case of work in progress, 13,500 of goods are still in production pipeline, and in the finished goods we are having 12,100, and cost ledger control account balance is 41,600, that we have seen just right now, 41,600. So you make the balance, and trial balance is tally. So in this case you can see the question is uh, correct. Now we will see some more points on our. Now what are the important point? The first important point is cost ledger control account and general ledger adjustment control account are synonym, both are same with different name. Cost ledger control account is open to replace personal account and real account except stock account, means a cash or bank. Following process of a production operation, first of all material will be purchased either on cash or credit basis. So this is the, you can say, the flow of production process. So first of all we purchase material either on cash or credit, but it is first of all shifted to the store department, or you can say material store department, unless it is purchased or bought for the special purposes. Number two, the material direct as well as indirect purchase will be transferred to store. Therefore material store ledger control account will be debited and cost ledger control account will be credited. Since no cash and personal account are recorded in non-integrated accounts, thus it is replaced by cost ledger control account. Then direct material will be transferred to production department to process it into finished stock. Therefore work in progress control account will be debited and store ledger control account will be credited. In case indirect material is transferred to production, then instead of debiting work in progress control account, we will debit factory overhead control account and store ledger control account will be credited. If any material is bought and transferred directly to production instead of transferring to store department, then entry will be work in progress control account debit or factory overhead control account, as the case may be. I mean, in the case of direct material, it will be work in progress control account, and if it is indirect material specially purchased for some special job, then factory overhead control account will be debited. Then cost ledger control account will be credited. In case of loss of material, especially normal loss, as we have done already in previous classes as well as, so if it is the loss of direct material, then it will be charged to our normal cost. Even if it is a loss of indirect material, but it should be normal loss, our direct wages or indirect wages loss, then it will be charged to the respective account. So in case of abnormal loss, the loss will be transferred to costing P&L account. Similar treatment will be made in case of labor. However, first entry in case of wages paid is wages control account debit to cost ledger account will be credited. That we know that because we do not prepare bank or cash account, that's why here cost ledger control account will be credited. So these are the few some important point you can recall again, and do one or two question for practice, because there will be only one question from all these three chapters. The first chapter is over. We in next class we will discuss reconciliation of statements under non-integrated system. Thanks.